What it do, y'all? It's your boy Cloak Unknown back at it again today. New video. I want to talk about how Streamer University has ruined streaming for the worst, okay? Look, now you got to think about it on the one hand. Kai Cenat, he did a lot for these streamers, man. He bigged up a lot of big names. He really has changed the game. There's no doubt to him on that, and he deserves his credit. Hold on, let me clean my table a little bit. But the game has changed now, immensely, and it's basically the fault of the viewers. I'm gonna explain how. Now, look, like, let me give you an example, okay? So imagine an underground artist, all right? We'll call him Yeet. Okay, we'll call him Yeet. Now, he's an authentic rapper, right? He built up his fan base on his own. He built up his own sound. He started, making these tunes, making this music, and then he starts gaining a following, right? So you got that raw, built up from the beginning type of fan base. These people love you, right? Then you get that one big song. You get that one big hit, and it's the biggest thing. Everybody's bumping it, everybody's listening to it. So then you have a spawn of new and a larger fan base that completely overshadows the smaller fan base, right? And the smaller fan base, and this here, the smaller fan base, this was like the pre-streaming community, like the pre-streamer university community. You know what I'm saying? But the streamer university has just brought shit to a whole new level of audiences. And this is what I'm talking about here. And those audiences completely change the way that you sound. Look at Yeat's newest projects. Does it sound anything like his old shit? Now, look, I'm not saying that he's not a guy to want to change his sound, but you see a lot of artists when they get bigger, they grow a lot more. They're trying to throw their old ways out immediately because they want to appeal to that larger audience. And this is what we're seeing now in streamer university. Streaming before, it used to be like an outcast sort of thing. The same way with YouTube. Like, people thought YouTubers were like dorks. They just do shit for clout and all that. But when they started making money, it's like, okay, maybe it's time to take this shit serious. Same way it is with streaming right now, except they are making bank. If you are a well established streamer, you're making bank, okay? And now you got anybody doing it, right? You got celebrities now doing it. You got these, so-called influencers and former whatever they are. I mean, you got basketball players, football, like athletes, real life celebrities falling into this shit because of how easy money it can be if you really dedicated to it. But the thing is, it also means that the content changes. You know what I'm saying? And so, what does that bring? Well, I mean, we've seen way more beef, a lot more drama, a lot more parasocial activities. I mean, it was already parasocial to begin with, but now we're in new levels of just following up in people's lives. You know what I'm saying? And streaming before, it used to be a fun time, you know? It used to be a fun space where everybody would come together in one chat or in one Reddit or in one Discord, and everybody just came together to watch this streamer. It wasn't just the streamer, but it was also the community. It was all about community, and it used to be so much fun. But now everything is just so oversaturated. It doesn't really, you don't really feel the authenticity anymore. um and I mean, can you blame them? I mean, when profits come in, those make louder statements than any other statement you can make on the app. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, how can we bring back that sense of community again? Well, first of all, Those TikTok clippers, worst people ever. I mean, you could literally see the change into how people clip their TikToks. You know what I'm saying? First, they do it like, okay, this is what the video is. Here's caption giving context. Here you go. But now it's absolutely devious, man. Real stuff, like people don't even have the attention span anymore to really keep up with shit. So they just read the caption and then they're just like, ah, this typical nom 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 nom. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you get all these false narratives and stuff because it's like, look, you got to understand, like with streaming, like people will think you're obsessed about something, but whole time it was just a dude in the chat asking a question, and you had no choice but to answer it. And then, not to mention, you are on a what? You could be streaming 4 or 5 hours, you know what I'm saying? And people will take a little 15-second blurb of like a 3-minute topic that you spoke about, take that in and make that your whole entire opinion and just make you look bad that easily just because they wanted to, So it's just like like it really, like that type of shit really hurts streaming because then you got niggas thinking about like, oh well, this guy's an absolute terrorist, and it's just like, I hate that shit. But you know, I mean, it's a good thing, I guess. You know, get your bag. I gotta go to the toilet. All right, bro.